Hey Betty Nation, so I thought I'd do one this evening because tomorrow morning it is all about the preview for the football. So I've got to get really early and make sure I do a preview for the Premier League to make sure that's all done for the podcast, etc. So tonight I'm going to go through why I believe I'm not going to do a later back this time. I'm going to change it up a little bit because I do a later back on the podcast. So I don't want to always do exactly the same. I want to give you something a little bit different and try to not educate because I don't know. I think educate's the wrong word. I don't want to put myself on a pedestal or anything like that. But give you another way, another system, another strategy to make money from in-play trades. And by the way, Manchester City have just won 2-0. Yeah! And if you haven't listened to the podcast, then we advised half-time, full-time. Bit of Dean Luck came in on the 47th minute, 2 minutes of injury time. So that was awesome. Okay, so let's get cracking with this race today then. I don't normally do two-horse races. How I first came to this one was I always like seeing horses that jump well. So I go to the search comments and you can search any one of these. And by the way, if you want any extra, if there's any other ones that you actually believe affect the price or would be helpful to other people, let me know and we can add them very, very simply. So what this does, it searches all the comments in the previous however many races there, and you say 25% and over. So I basically said, show me horses that have comments in the running. So for example, look, Maydall here, Favens, show me horses that have jumped well in the comment section for the running, and in the last 3 starts 25% and over. So it's basically saying show me any horse that has 1 out of the last 3 comments that have jumped well in, and it's only come up with 1 horse at 1.77. Now it's interesting this because normally at 1.77 you're not really interested because it's a little bit below my threshold. However, there is strategies that you can use to benefit and profit from horses that are very, very low in the market, like 1.77. What we can see here, we can see had 2 chase starts so far in this horse's career. First one, jumped well, made all, clear to after 4 out, drew clear again. Next one, made all about 5 lengths clear and in command when jumped left, whatever. So Betfair SP here was 4. The in-play high was 4. It won the race, but it never traded higher than the Betfair SP, which for me is a massive positive. Here, 6.4 and traded as high as 6.1. So it's taken to jumping fences very, very well, travels supremely well, is out in front, as we know by the comments in running. Jumps well. So I see this, and then what I want to do is I want to go to the Racing Post to have a look at that, but I also want to have a look at the Races tab because we've got a Races tab here. So I want to see if there's anybody else that potentially can make the running or is basically, if you've got 15, that means that you've led the last 3 starts. So 15 is the highest for the pace graph. That means you've led the last 3 starts, and it's never set in stone, but it's likely to lead again. Again, never set in stone. And here we've got a 6, and I'm thinking, 2 runners. Do you know what? I don't like doing two runners. Normally, I stay well away from these sort of races. However, look. It's not 1.84 now because I've had this on for so long, but 1.84, 2.12 for example, and I'm thinking, okay, let's just have a look. So chosen path, let's have a look at the in-play stats. So again, we can see this horse has had 2 starts over chases, and this one 3.25 into 3, 6.29 actually won the race, but you'll notice actually traded as high as 14s, which is fascinating. So what I liked here is this comment here. Settled in third early, jumped slowly 5th and 6th. So if we've got a horse that jumps slowly in a 2-horse race and a horse that jumps well in a 2-horse race, then it's a yin and the yang effect. One is certainly going to affect the other because it has to. There's no other factors in the market, so one has to affect the other. There's no other way around that. And if one is a front runner and the other is not, and the front runner is jumping well and the one in second isn't, then that is massively going to affect the price. So I want to have a little deeper look and see what is happening. Just two things here, by the way, guys. We've got a later back on the podcast for you guys as well tomorrow. We've had 5 out of 6 successful later backs. Today's didn't really decrease in price very much, so that was a win-win for us. And then also something that has cost me an absolute arm and a leg with development costs, and that is to get the front-running email. There's so many people who basically, we said, look, if you want some front-running, if you want us to email a list of front-runners, then simply put your name and addresses here, and we will email them every single day from 6 a.m. The only problem is we could only do 500 at a time. I never believed that there was going to be more than 500 people being interested in these front runners. However, there's been a lot more, and we reached our limit. And the problem is getting that data across to ConvertKit and sending it to you guys. It was getting corrupted somehow. Anyway, so a girl called Kim who works with me from America, Australia. She's been helping me out, and Mahesh and his team have been working out, and ConvertKit have been helping us because the RSS feed is completely different apparently, and it's really technical. But I've had an email conversation tonight with Kim that says that we have just about got it sorted. So we're doing a test tomorrow morning, and hopefully then we are good to send tens of thousands. So anybody who wants to sign up for their front running email, we will send them out completely free of charge to anybody who's interested. Finally nearly done. So that's basically housekeeping done. Right, so let's have a quick look. Want to quickly show you this then. Chosen Path. Here we go. This is fascinating. And then I'll show you the strategy, what I will probably be using depending on how busy I am tomorrow. So 19th of December, last time this horse ran, it won. It's on the right hand side over here. So we can see. And they're sent on their way. So off there it is. Big white face. Big white face. Remember, novice, second chase run. Here we go. How was it jump? Whoa! Whoa! Over that way. Okay, maybe it's just I don't know, a problem with the first fence. Let's have a look. There it is there. Big white face. Whoa! Ballooned it. If that happens again, there is no doubt. We've seen 2 runs for this horse, and twice it has jumped poorly. It still won, but more than doubled in price. So, Betting Nation, if that happens again, we know full well that our horse is going to come in running. There's no doubt about it. Let's have a look how Topville Ben, has run so far over chases. I've got to be quick now because I can't go over 10 minutes, otherwise the emails, it doesn't send, it's hard anyway. Never mind. Right, so look, makes it, wants to make it, as you can see here. Ears pricked, which is always nice to see. And boom, jumps it. Let's show you one more. I think there's one more before the 10, is he? At Wetherby? I think so. No, there isn't. I know my courses. I've actually sponsored at Wetherby as well, and actually had one of the chase obstacles with my little logo on and stuff. Anyway, you think I know better, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's just see how it jumps here. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So we know that our horse jumps well, and we know the opposition jumps poorly. We know our horse front runs and travels well. We know Chosen Path, when it's won before, has more than doubled in price, and also when it's won over hurdles as well, has drifted out in play. Hey, sorry about that. We ran out of memory, so I had to delete some stuff. Right, okay. So what I recommend we do here is we go for a 20 tick profit. Now, the 20 tick profit depends on the price. For example, you get more profit the higher the price, obviously, because the ticks goes up in increments. So, for example, when it's under 2, it goes up in 0.01. When it's over 2, between 2 and 3, it goes up in 0.02. I always get this wrong in my head. Not in my head, but when I say it. So you get more value if it's higher odds. However, with this here, say for example 1.79, if we place £100 at 1.79 and we go for 20 tick profit, we go for around about a 12% return. A 12% return is going to be in and out the market very, very quickly, very low risk, because we're only going for a 20 tick return, and 20 ticks under 2 is a 12% return, which for my money is, well, I don't want to say safe as houses or anything like that, but it looks a very, very safe proposition for me, and that is the way, if I am playing anything in this race, if I've got time tomorrow, then that is the way I'm playing it. It's just a different strategy. It's a back to lay, but it's a different strategy as well, because I think there's so many different ways to play in-play trades that I want to try and show you as many different ways, angles that I personally use, and hopefully it's helpful for you guys. Right, don't forget to listen to my podcast as well. I'm going to record it now for later backs. Sorry, Barcelona 1, Real Madrid 1. Right, okay, have a great evening, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you again sometime tomorrow. All right, guys, girls, thank you so much. Bye-bye.